It's humongous. Do you see my shoulders? Do you see how, I mean, I would say with the tire, it's ridiculous. I think I'm average height for a male, but holy cow. Look at this thing. That's absurd. Today we have the 2023 Raptor R, equipped with the 5.2 liter supercharger, making about 700 horsepower and about 640 foot-pounds of torque. Whew. So here we do have that 5.2 liter supercharged V8 that comes in the Ford Raptor, right? This is also gonna have about 700 horsepower like we talked about, and about 640 foot-pounds of torque, which will get you 0 to 60 in about 3.6 seconds, which is a tad bit faster than the standard Ford Mustang GT, right? With that and the transmission that it's paired with, you are gonna get about 8,200 pounds of towing capacity with this. And that 5.2 liter supercharger, what you're gonna be making is about 10 miles per gallon in the city and about 15 on the highway for about a 12 mile per gallon combined. In this 5.2 liter supercharged V8, you're gonna make about 700 horsepower, bring you 0 to 60 in about 3.6 seconds, and 0 to 110 miles an hour is gonna be about 11.1 seconds. Just going over some of the front features of the Raptor, right? You are gonna go ahead and get a full set of LED lights along with the famous Raptor lights that everyone likes to put on their trucks, right? On top of that, you are gonna get a set of rigid fog lights with a cool little Raptor cover that goes over the interior fog light on both sides that says Raptor on it. You are gonna get the nice red R that kind of indicates that you do have a Raptor R. On top of just a nice, I guess, integrated front bumper, you are gonna get your parking sensors along with 2 red tow hooks for recovery reasons if you are going off-road. And then you will have a full set of bash plates on the bottom just in case you scrape on anything, either rocks or anything like that. In this gorgeous avalanche color, it is also equipped with the additional 37-inch tires from the 35-inch, raising your ground clearance from 12 inches to a little over 13.1 inches. Along with that, you are gonna get the steel running boards that do have like this rhino liner texture to kind of help from getting scratched up and to help you get in the vehicle, especially if you're a little shorter like I am. Going to the back of the truck, you are gonna have a powered tailgate. And this one is equipped optional with the hardcover tonneau cover, and it is powered as well. So on top of it being powered, you do have the Ford work surface on the bed, kind of hatch area with rulers and everything so you can do work, along with clips for C-clamps and that Ford step that many people like so much. So then also when it comes to putting everything away and cleaning up at the end of the day, the tailgate is also powered, so you do not have to worry about having to lift a heavy tailgate or do any extra work. And looking at the back of the 2023 Raptor R, you are gonna have some pretty cool red accenting with the red lights on the back indicating its width, with the red LED taillights. And then on the actual door of the bed, you are gonna go ahead and have solid black piece with your red Raptor light, or red Raptor R. You are gonna have a really cool active exhaust that's gonna be a dual exhaust with 2 recovery points in the back as well. So on the interior of the Raptor R, right, you are gonna start off with this kind of 2-tone material seats. It's gonna be kind of half leather, and the other half is gonna be more of an Alcantara for comfort and breathability, with the B&O sound system in the headrest for when you're on the phone. So kind of moving into the technology features wise of the Ford Raptor, you do start with a folding down shifter that can open up into a workspace as well. You will go ahead and get the heated and cooled seats for the seats, along with a active exhaust and active drive modes. You can kind of change the suspension, steering wheel, stuff like that. Also, you do on the screen section, you will have a couple buttons up here that'll be kind of nice. You will have a camera button that no matter when you're driving or where you're going or what you're doing, you can click that and you will get a 360 view of the Raptor all around you via the cameras on the mirror front and back. And then you do also have a trail control button, which is like cruise control, but for when you're off-road, and it can hold speeds as low 1 to 3 miles an hour. So also up here, these top couple buttons by the screen, there is one with a P on it. And if you click that, depending on where you are currently when you click the button, it will help you find open parking spots that are in the area that are available for you to park your truck. Okay, so also along with the Raptor, you are gonna get these steel paddle shifters so you can kind of bang through gears as you're driving it. Preferably more for off-road when you're having fun, but I guess whenever you wanna go, high speeds, whatever. You also are gonna get some other creature comforts along here with a wireless phone charger, a USB and a USB-C, along with a 12-volt plug, and another car charger. So also that in the Raptor, you are gonna get 6 auxiliary switches if you wanna add any exterior lights on the vehicle, whether you do front floodlights, side lights, or ditch lights. And then you also do have a double, or I guess a longer panoramic sunroof on the top of the Raptor. Same deal, you do have a steering wheel button on here that'll also change kind of how loose or how tight your steering is gonna be when you're driving. Comfort's gonna be a little bit more loose, it's gonna be easier to drive. And when you crank it up to sport and then off-road, it's gonna stiffen up a little bit, give you a little bit more feel of what your truck's doing on different terrains. So with those active drive modes, active suspension, you can kind of change the suspension how you want it with the suspension button on the steering wheel, whether you want it to be more soft for comfort day-to-day driving, more of an aggressive suspension feel if you're on a track or if you're on the dirt, and then they do have an off-road one as well if you're doing some pretty quick off-road driving to kind of mitigate a lot of the bumps. I guess kind of going over the suspension modes, you do have a couple of them. You have just the normal suspension settings. You have sport, which will stiffen it up a little bit. And then off-road is gonna allow you more suspension travel with those Fox shocks. The exhaust notes you can change. So you have quiet, kind of tones it down a lot. I don't know if you guys can pick that up, but it's significantly more quiet. You'll have normal, kind of tones up again, and it's definitely louder. Sport has a little bit less of a change, but still really nice. And then Baja definitely gets a little bit more of an aggressive tone on it. And then you can hear a little bit of that supercharger as well. A couple of drive modes in the Raptor R. You'll have normal, sport. You'll have kind of a tow haul mode, along with your slippery or wet modes. And then you do have a couple other more aggressive modes. You'll have just your standard off-road, which is nice, will lock you into a 4-wheel drive. You will have also your Baja mode, which will kind of preset all of your exhaust, steering, and suspension as well. And then you also do have a rock crawl mode as well. As you're going kind of through these modes, everything on your screen is going to change to what is most important in terms of that, and it's also going to kind of change the color of the speedometer as well. So as we're shifting to also with the 4-wheel drive, as we go into rock crawl, it's going to lock us into 4 high and then also try to switch us into 4 low. When we go into Baja, it's only going to keep us in 4 high. When we go to off-road, it's going to stay there. Normal is going to switch us back to 2 high to normal 2-wheel drive. And then the same deal when you go down to sport, tow haul, and then it's slippery as well. So you have a cool couple trailer control equipment that comes on the Raptor, right? So you do have the Pro Trailer like parking assist. So when you're backing up a trailer, you wouldn't use this to kind of steer your steering wheel to kind of control the trailer. You would just use your trailer control here to help back up with your 360 camera. On top of that, you are going to have a trailer brake control. If you're towing anything excessively heavy, you're not putting excessive wear and tear on the vehicle's brakes. Notice we got a low fuel light pop up, and you can kind of dismiss the alerts, or it can look for fuel stations near you, and it'll give you locations that you can automatically put up on your navigation to go to the nearest fuel station. So we'll go to like this BP, it's 1.6 miles away.
Traffic laws, be alert and use voice commands while driving.
And it'll tell you how to get to the nearest one. And that's really helpful because obviously when you click on it and it goes over to the navigation, it'll also give you directions on the screen, so you don't have to keep taking your eyes off of the navigation or the map when you're driving. You just have to focus on the speedometer and on the road. Equipped with the Raptor R, you are going to get adaptive cruise control, lane keep assist, and blind spot monitoring. Adaptive cruise control, you can kind of set the distance you want in front of the car in front of you when you're using cruise control. So you don't want to hit the brakes every time when you're driving on the freeway, or if you have a long commute, it'll slow down and speed up for you, making just everyday monotonous driving easier. Lane keep assist, it's not gonna completely stop you from doing anything, like making turns or anything like that, but when you're drifting, it'll kind of buzz you back straight, and kind of help prevent unneeded accidents when you're not paying attention. You are gonna have a specific R button over here on the left-hand side. So when you click that twice, it'll activate kind of your R drive mode, and that's just gonna be kind of a save button for your previous drive mode. So you can set it however you want it. In your preference drive modes, when you get in and double tap that, it'll always go back to how you set it. Just to go over some unique badging here in the Raptor, so you are gonna get the red R on the seats of the Raptor. The normal Raptor is just gonna say Raptor, along with some nice red stitching, the red center mark that you don't get on the normal Raptor, and Raptor kind of engraved here on the bottom of the steering wheel. Notice the seat kind of moved forward along with the steering wheel coming out. There is 3 driver mode positions you can kind of set everything at with your mirrors, your steering wheel, and your seat. And depending on who gets in the car and what it was set on last, it'll automatically adjust to how you're sitting before.